Magic Makers. I'm Mom Virella.
I'm Yukita Cosplay.
And I'm CJ Peterson. Welcome to Magic Making Mischief. Tonight we are pre-recorded. We are not ignoring you. So please stand by as we continue on our Magic Making Mischief tonight. Get your wands to the ready because we solemnly swear we're up to no good. Yay!
I got my new wand from Jeremy Vander.
Yay!
Great. Wands, makers of beautiful wands since 2024. Yes. And I got my wand 2.0. Thank you again to Jeremy Vander for coming to find me at NerdCon to deliver it personally.
We had the original. So speaking of, we had NerdCon this last weekend. How did it go, ladies?
It was
really
fantastic.
Wow. It was awesome. That's honestly one of our favorites for a good reason.
Yes.
Okay, your panel, Mombi?
I feel like it went well. This was my first solo panel, and I got through my 3 pages of notes in about 12 minutes. So that was fun. But no, it went well because after that I was like, okay, do y'all have questions? And it went really well. And honestly, I don't know his name, but there was this one kid in there, and he is gonna make it. I'm telling you, like his mind.
He's asking the good questions.
Right?
I was like, okay, he's smart.
And he processed stuff about the algorithm that I'm like, man, it took me years to start asking those questions. Wow.
Okay, and Yukita, the karaoke.
My karaoke, it went okay. It went a little bit rough for my first time. We had a little technical difficulty at the very end. Literally, Itachi, God help her. She was singing her song, and then the projector went whoop and
rejected.
It
was sad.
Sound turned off, and so did the laptop. And none of these things were mine, and I am not tech savvy, so. The
only thing I could figure out was the screen, but lowering the screen with no projector sound does not help any.
No, and we had to differentiate between what was considered family friendly, because some kiddos were just like, just play the clean version, and I didn't realize that the lyrics would still pop up on the thing. So I was like, I'm turning it off right now. I was like, okay, no, because it's family friendly. No. So just wanted people to do Disney, but everybody was doing everything but Disney. And I was like, next time I'm going to say specifically Disney karaoke.
Disney karaoke next time. Okay.
You go.
I feel like Disney. I'm not worried.
Honestly, I think that it could have gone longer. I think it went really well, though. You know, it was fun.
It did. And we had our little fun. We don't talk about Bruno moment.
Yes.
We tried.
It's been a while since I sang that song. I was like, oh my gosh, how can I forget the lyrics? Right. Oh, and I got this. I'm very proud of this. This has all the autographs of all the guests that were at NerdCon. It's awesome.
We got to meet Jem, and we got to party with her a little bit.
Nice. She is awesome. We absolutely loved her. So yes, highlight of the con.
Very cool. So it was a fun time had by all.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, they've got the guests, the panels, the cosplayers. They've got the vendors, the artists. They've got it all. I mean,
they got it all.
I don't know how they keep it free. I'll be honest. It's an awesome con.
Well, they had to keep it. They had to like force themselves to keep it small and keep it at one day. So
and it was pretty crowded that morning too.
It was very crowded. I forgot how crowded it can be.
My gosh. Yep. Definitely like a little hurting moment trying to get through the crowd.
It was fun though. Definitely fun.
We love Jerry and James. And
yes.
So definitely our love goes out to them. Well, I am very excited to introduce our guest today, but remember, in case you didn't catch it to begin with, we are pre-recording. We are not ignoring you. So as those comments are going by, we are not ignoring you. Our guest today is Whit McClendon, who is a urban fantasy author. He's been to a couple of the cons that I have run personally, and he's been on Book World as well. So I'm excited to introduce him. Welcome, Whit.
Hello. Thanks so much for having me. I really appreciate the opportunity.
Yeah. So would you like to tell people who are not familiar with your work what your work is, how many books you have, and what they're about?
Well, let's see. I write in 2 genres. Epic fantasy was my first love. So swords and sorcery, Lord of the Rings type stuff. That's where I started with. The first 5 books were in that world. And then I tried NaNoWriMo one year and ended up doing an urban fantasy. And I didn't make it in November that year, but I already had about 30,000 words of this new story. And I thought, well, this is really fun. I want to see where it goes. And that ended up being 4 books over the next few years. So epic fantasy and urban fantasy.
Okay.
Nice.
For those who are not familiar, I do know. What is NaNoWriMo?
NaNoWriMo is National Novel Writing Month, where participants are challenged to write a 50,000 word novel within the month of November.
That's a lot.
Wow.
It's a lot. Yeah, it's a lot.
Say that there are 3 types of writers. There are planners, pantsers, and then there's generally a hybrid on the in-between. Which one are you?
Oh, I am such a pantser. Oh my goodness. I if I'm finding my way through a dark forest, just give me a pen light and eventually I'll get there. Because that's kind of how it feels when I'm writing, because often I have no idea what's going on for more than just a couple of sentences ahead, and I'm constantly being surprised.
Mm-hmm. Most authors who do write for NaNoWriMo tend to make it, so I'm kind of surprised you didn't. But usually the pantsers make it through NaNoWriMo. But the planners who know it's coming usually have it already planned out and tend to make it through that way. So it kind of depends on what type of an author you are.
Yeah, I just wasn't able to do it. I think that was the only time that I've tried to participate, but all of the other times I was in the middle of working on something already. So it's like, I don't have the bandwidth to try and do that as well.
That's a lot. See, anytime I've ever tried to write a story, the characters tried to write themselves, and I never could stick to what I thought I was going to do. So I don't think I could accomplish something like that by any means. That's a lot.
I don't have a map. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to say, I tend to let my characters just run with it. They tend to write it better than I ever could.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, but my characters tend to have the same kind of attention issues I do, I think. Yours are probably a little more organized or hurted, I guess. I don't know. Because you get it done.
I do. And my characters, the book I'm currently writing, my characters are technically y'all. So they're actually just taken off. So
they might have a little more mind of their own.
it's just
A bit more of sound mind, maybe.
so what are you currently working on?
I'm currently working on an urban fantasy that is in my Grimm Fairy universe, which is basically Houston, West Houston, Katy, see, like this area. And it's not book 5 in the series. It's a standalone with a lot of the same characters. So instead of being, book 5 of the Grimm Fairy Chronicles, it's going to be A Tale from the Grimm Fairy Chronicles. And then I can get back to book 5 once this one is done.
So what are the Grimm
Oh,
Fairy?
sorry.
What are the Grimm Fairy
Good.
Chronicles?
The Grimm Fairy Chronicles. A Grimm Fairy is he's basically he's kind of a cop, if you will. He's a good guy with a pretty bad attitude. And I generally tell people that, if someone is out there using magic for evil purposes, once they kind of tip the scales of good and evil enough, then the Grimm Fairy may be sent in to even things up. And he loves his job, and he's very messy about how he does it. And so he's something of a vigilante, but he's kind of a jerk, really. But he's got a very noble side to him as well. And his whole job is protecting humankind, even if they upset him a lot sometimes.
So I wanted to ask, what is it like writing a fantasy style set of characters and everything in a familiar setting like Houston, though?
Well, I really love it because a lot of times I'll drive out and look at the settings. There is a hospital in Katy that I remember taking our son to it 20 plus years ago, and whenever they closed the hospital down, it sat vacant for a very, very long time. and they had just started renovating it and turning it into an elderly living facility, I think. But it was taking a while. There were problems apparently. And so I got to wander around all the outside of it. I mean, it was not far from where I lived. And so that setting, it's like I can just make notes and take pictures of exactly what I want, and then I can change it however I need to. And so it's a lot of fun for me to drive around and look at these settings. And, Google Earth is my friend, Google Street View, because I can go all over the place and be like, that's where they're going to buy tacos, and I really enjoy that.
Nice.
It's a taco truck for me.
Yeah.
So you've written both like both types of fantasy genres. What's more challenging to you? Is the urban fantasy more challenging, or would you say it's the other way around?
They each have their strengths, The urban fantasy, like I said, it's the setting is in my head all the time, and I can Google all kinds of things that are going on right now, and it's a lot of fun for me to do that. With the epic fantasy, it's like, well, I've created everything in that world, and as long as I follow my own rules, then I can do whatever I want. And so it's easy to do that too, and so it's just I just kind of have to be in one mode or the other. But I deeply enjoy doing them both.
Mm-hmm. Can you tell us a little bit about the epic fantasy? You told us about
the epic fantasy. I started writing that first book in 1993. As a result, I got really frustrated. I'd read everything in the house twice, and so I went to a bookstore to try and find a new author. And there was an end cap with a whole bunch of fantasy books by an author I'd never read before, obviously very popular. And so I bought the first 2 books of his very first trilogy, thinking if I really dig these, then I've got all those other books to keep me busy. And it did not resonate with me. The first 2 books didn't. And with the arrogance of youth, I threw that second book on the ground and stood up and said, I can write better than that guy. And I sat down and started working on it. And over the next 20 years, I learned some humility. And it's like, that guy's been churning out books for 20 years, and realized how difficult it was. But in about 2013, I realized if I didn't get on the stick here and finish this thing, then I could get hit by a bus and the story would never be told. I'd never have published a book. And so in 2014, I got that first book published. Feedback was good, and I kept writing and kept going. And then, one thing led to another, and well, here we are.
Well, you said it's the premise of Lord of the Rings, but can you...
The premise is in this, it's a typical medieval fantasy setting, if you will, right? And an evil sorcerer had been imprisoned 2,000 years ago after a battle that destroyed the land. And they managed to band together this small band of heroes and lock his spirit inside a stone, prison stone. And these heroes were the Guardians. Think Avengers, if you will. Each one has a magical weapon, a spear, that gives certain powers to its chosen wielder. And there is one man, a mage, who taught them all, was the guardian of all the weapons, and he was the leader of this team. Once the evil sorcerer was imprisoned, the need for the guardians passed. And centuries later, they had all died off, the weapons been put away, and the mage went about his life doing his things. But 2,000 years later, sorcerer escapes, and there is no one to defend the land against him and the forces he unleashes. And so the mage has to find 6 new chosen wielders, 6 new guardians, to accept the weapons, learn how to use them, and stand in defense of the land against Mordak, the bad guy. And 5 of the 6 were down with it. They were like, okay, we've heard the legends. It's hard to believe that I'm one of them, but here we are. So I'm in. But one of them said, nope, stay away from me. I don't want anything to do with you. I just want to live my life. And he ends up being pulled into the conflict anyway, in a very tragic way. And he ends up being the strongest of them all. So I had a ton of fun writing it. I figure if I have fun writing it, my readers will probably have fun reading it. Mm-hmm. And
usually the case.
Yeah, that's kind of my criteria. It's like if I'm going like, man, I can't get enough of this, then there probably somebody else will like it too.
Yeah, it's usually the rule of if there's no tears from the author, no tears from the reader. If there's no laughter from the author, no laughter from the reader.
Mm-hmm. So you're telling me every time you kill off a character that you cry about it? Because I know that I don't think I believe that. As someone whose bestie is an author of books that she likes and doesn't like for the characters killed off, that
so is it laughter with a cup of tea with Satan, or is it laughter with, it kind of borders on that?
It's giving Tolkien vibes. Giving R.R. Martin.
He kills everybody.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Literary assassin, so it kind of just depends on.
I never trust her anymore.
I can't finish reading the books.
In a book series for me, so.
Okay, so I did peek at your website before, and I have noticed that you say in there that you do martial arts, and I'm curious, does that have any impact on your characters and any of your fight scenes or anything like that?
Oh, it's got a lot of impact. Yeah, let's see. Where do I start? Well, I'm actually sitting in my school right now. So back there, if you look, you see all the swords on the walls.
Oh, wow.
And then
over
here,
Ron was?
Yeah, see all of this over here. There's swords of all kinds, the Chinese weapons over there. And then over here, right there, way in the back, that's a rather tall weapons rack filled with staffs and spears and long-bladed Chinese weapons, and I think there's a couple of axes back there. And so that kind of stuff really helps in my fantasy, not my fantasy, all of it's fantasy, the epic fantasy stuff, because of the sword play and the spear play. And that actually was a huge inspiration in the magical weapons that I called it the Jidan, something fancy and exotic. And it doesn't mean anything bad in any language, I think. So I really loved how the long-bladed Chinese weapons moved. Okay, they're big, but if you learn how to use them, you can twirl them, you can do all kinds of things, and they have a pretty big, vicious blade on the end. The only problem that I ever had working with them is that they're big and they're kind of clunky, and it's a little bit difficult to move some of those things. And so I thought, and this is way back in 1993, I thought, well, what would I want my weapon to look like? And, I had a museum replicas catalog for swords and spears and different things you could buy. And it had a replica of a French polearm that I thought, oh, snap, that is a beautiful looking blade. And I've never seen anything like that before. I bet that would be awesome on a longer handle, longer than a sword handle, but shorter than a pike, a super long weapon that you'd use to stab people from the top of the castle. Like, you're not coming in here. And so I actually, I diagrammed it all out, and I contacted an armorer in Florida. And they built it for me. I have it back over here, like I can run over and get it for you. And they finally sent it to me. They said it was going to come at a certain time, and 2 weeks passed, and I called them and said, hey, man, where's my weapon? I don't want to be rude or anything. And they're like, oh, shoot. Sorry. I'm sorry. We had it. We've been playing with it. We'll ship it out tomorrow. And so I finally got it. And, I promptly stuck a hole in the ceiling and was shooed outside but it moved better than any of the Chinese weapons that were like that, that they were the inspiration for it. And I found that I could move faster with it and attack in all directions. I mean, it was just really, really sweet. And I had to go back and start rewriting things immediately. And so that's the weapon that they use in the epic fantasy. And so that's, in that, my, all of my traditional fighting experience and training really comes into play. In the urban fantasy stuff, I'm a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I'm instructor level in Krav Maga. And so it's like that stuff is way more applicable to modern combat. And so, my characters, like, I think in the first book, one of my favorite characters, her name is Ariana. She's a gun-toting Texas witch, and she strangled a thug with a triangle choke at some point. And the other female lead that I have, her name's Detective Avery Lynn. She's done a lot of gun disarms, the Krav Maga style, and things like that. And so, yes, the short answer is, why, yes, my martial arts experience does indeed help me write these books.
I see. That's awesome. I'm sorry, ladies. I've got to see this weapon that was so good that they had to hold on to it and play with it for a while. I'm morbidly curious.
The way he ran. The way he ran. He said, "Oh, goody."
He's like, yeah, we got the toy.
He said, "I thought you'd never ask."
I know, it's kind of
running with that.
talking about it too. I like sharp things.
Yeah, here it is.
Oh, nice.
I like it.
So
She's a beaut.
Yep.
Pretty.
And I've never sharpened it, although it is a combat steel weapon and it's very pointy. I keep a little thing on there to keep me from poking my eye out. And you can see about how long it is. And that's the counterweight.
Nice.
In the, let me see, where have I got this here? Like, if you look here, you can see my character carrying that.
You're so stinking cool.
See?
Nice.
And just over his shoulder is the pommel, which is, it's metal and it's diamond shaped, and it has a gemstone nestled in the middle of it. And that gemstone is the source of its magical power. The Jidan of power, the Jidan of warding, the Jidan of stealth, the Jidan of storms, the Jidan of healing. Each one of these gives the character, it's uniquely suited to each one of the wielders. Nice. And so it looks a whole lot nicer than this big ball, but this is great for fighting. I mean, bam, you can nail somebody with that. So anyway, yeah,
Play with it.
It's so much fun. It's so much fun. Somewhere on my YouTube site, I have a video of me playing around with this thing.
I was going to say, you probably couldn't, if you do forums with weapons, you probably couldn't resist coming up with one for it.
Oh, well, here's the funny thing. I mean, I do know a lot of different routines and forms and everything. I've never created a form with this one because it feels so good. All I have to do is just pick it up and then I can start to move and, and have fun. It's just fun. I can move all over the place and swing it and stab and do all kinds of stuff.
So it's a lot more natural than most weapons. It doesn't need that kind of a structure to be able to figure it out. That's cool.
Now, you do Comic-Cons. What's your next Comic-Con?
I will be signing up for Comic Palooza the moment it becomes available. That's my favorite one that I've done so far. And then I'll be doing a lot more events this next coming year. I've had to be a little bit more reserved in attending a lot of them just because I've been so busy. And so, with the school and with everything. But I have a lot of plans for next year to make a lot more personal appearances and selling books and things and just kind of having more fun.
Where can they find out where you're going to appear?
My Facebook pages, I post on there all the time. I have a personal page, and then I have a Whit McClendon author page, and that I keep updated all the time. And I'll eventually update the website too. It's but my Facebook and Instagram's always updated.
Okay, and Whit McClendon's really easy to find. It's WHIT, and then McClendon is McClendon. So it's really easy to find for those who are listening. I went ahead and spelled it out for you. Your website is www.jid8an.com.
There's a story there. You actually can reach me easier by just using my name.com.
Okay.
WhitMcClendon.com.
Okay. Do you have any advice for somebody who wants to maybe get into writing fantasy or urban fantasy?
The best advice I ever heard from Stephen King was you got to read a lot and write a lot. You know, you got to get words on the page. And my personal advice, I got 2 bits of advice that I've carried with me for all this time. One was from a dear friend because I was stuck. I was so stuck. It was killing me. I just couldn't get past this one section. And he said, dude, you are writing with one hand and erasing with the other because you don't think it's good enough. Stop it. Just get it on the page. You can't edit what's not there. And I was like, yeah, that visual of writing with one hand and erasing with the other, that fixed it. And so now I just puke it out all on the page. I can fix it later. And the other bit of information that this would help is this is from Dennis L. McKiernan, who was like my idol ever since high school. And I had an occasion to meet him, and he gave me some fabulous advice. He said, whenever you think it's done, whenever you think it's perfect, when you've edited it 1,000,000 times, go back and read every word out loud with a pen in your hand. And you will find stuff that you missed. Fantastic advice. I can't tell you the stuff I've found whenever I've done that.
Yep. Yeah, mine is always just get the sand in the box.
Yeah.
So it's the same idea of your other one. And the other thing that I do is Super Hubby and I read it aloud and he reads it with me, and I have it like blown up or zoomed up so he can literally see every period and every comma and everything. And then the other thing I do is after it goes through edits is I send it through like Voice Dream Reader, and I have it blown up so it's being read to me as I'm reading it at the same time. So I make sure that I'm hearing what I'm seeing it, and so I hear the flow as well. So it's kind of a different version of it. So I'm hearing it twice and I'm seeing it as well.
Nice.
So that's a way to do it as well. Do you have anything you'd like to add? We have a few minutes left.
Oh, it depends on who I'm adding it for, I guess. I love talking to aspiring authors or, writers who've never published a book or, and the biggest thing that I love being able to do is to say, just do it. Just do it. Don't stop yourself. Don't tell yourself it's not going to be any good because you don't know that, and I have written some stuff that was junk in the beginning. And then once you get it down, you can do something else with it. And it could end up being magic. You never know. But if you stop yourself, you'll never know what you could do.
Exactly. So remember, guys, next week we do not have a Magic Making Mischief due to Thanksgiving. So enjoy your holiday with your family. On December 2nd, we'll be back with the Houston Ghost Tours. So make sure to come back on December 2nd, though. Whit, thank you for joining us. I know your schedule is really, really busy. Mommy, would you like to take us out?
First off, let me make sure to tell you guys, happy Thanksgiving. I got my Thanksgiving special on. And make sure y'all smash that thumbs up real quick before you go. Share this out so that people can learn more about the awesome books. I love that the Grimm ones are based in Houston. I think that's the coolest thing. And make sure you're following CJ Peterson on YouTube as well as TikTok, all the things. Yukita Cosplay on Instagram. Follow them Geeks on YouTube, and me, Mom Birella, on YouTube as well. So till next time, guys, happy Thanksgiving and mischief managed. Bye.